Welcome back, everyone, to the FloTrack podcast. Happy Monday. I am Kevin. He is Gordon. Apologies for missing the Friday pod. Gordon, pre-planned absent. He went to Atlanta. I had 2 kids sick. I can do the pod with 1 kid sick. I'm not good enough
to do it. It's 2 kids sick.
I can't do it. Can't pull it off. Too much coordination. So we took all those stories from Friday, moved them today.
What were all those stories from Friday?
There weren't that many anyway. So there was 2, added them to 3, and then here we are. So shout out to everybody watching live in the chat. Tampa Eagle, you did not miss the Friday pod. Cameron, appreciate that you're liking the new music. We got music now, Gordon. Beef Boy, 3rd in the chat. Dustin says over-under on how long it takes Gordon to say either Embiid or LeBron. Well, I got news for you, Dustin. He's not going to talk about either of those things, mostly because the Sixers lost to my Spurs. But you're on cloud 9 with other Philadelphia sports.
Basketball season has not started yet. It's still in preseason mode. Basketball season starts Thanksgiving, according to me, and the rest of the city of Philadelphia, because my Phillies are in the World Series, and they're facing the Astros.
America's Phillies, you should say.
America's Phillies, because no one wants the Astros to win the World Series. We all know why, because they cheat, and the Phillies don't. We just have Bryce Harper and the greatest lineup of all time, and it's been euphoric. And I want to tell, so I was a bachelor party in Atlanta this past weekend. I was with half the bachelor party.
We get it. You have friends.
Well, half the party was all San Diego fans because the
all 6 of them.
Yeah, all 6 of them were there. They were talking a lot of shit through that weekend. I beat them in Game 3. We beat them in Game 4. Game 5, I was about to get on a plane, and I knew it was bad because my flight was at 5:20. Game started at 2:30. I was like, 8th, 9th inning is gonna be when I'm boarding.
Yep, not good.
I was watching it on my laptop while waiting. I was the last one to board a plane because I was like, I'm not closing this laptop until I can get on the plane. I then switch it to I'm watching on an illegal feed on my phone, and then because I don't have the YouTube TV password, whatever.
Yeah.
I sit on the plane, and I'm watching the video, and then it goes out. So I'm like, all right, now I got to resort to ESPN Gamecast, which is just refreshing stat pages.
Watching
the dot, whether it's a strike or ball, right? And Bryce Harper's at bat. It's the bottom of the 8th. And I see the home run happen on Gamecast.
You watched the little
I watched the dot, and then it was like explosions of graphics.
Ooh, okay.
No audio, right? So I'm just watching it. And I'm freaking out.
On a plane.
I scream on the plane. We're still on the tarmac. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I start shaking.
Yeah.
Because we just went up 4-3. The guy next to me, he has a Penn State shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Penn State? He must be a Phillies fan.
Yeah.
So I'm going to celebrate with this guy. He was not on the same page with celebrating with me because I tapped him and I was like, dude, look. And I started freaking out. And he was not happy.
No.
He was very upset that I was bothering him. But I was not upset because
that's when you got asked to leave the plane.
I did not get asked to leave the plane, but I was like, clearly no one else knows what is going on in the world right now because we're in Atlanta. They're all Braves fans, probably, whatever. Yeah. And so I freak out. And so I'm like, all right, now 9th inning, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got to see if we win. Top of the 9th, I'm still following Gamecast, but now the plane is starting to move.
Yeah, okay.
And we take off.
Yeah.
Now the internet connection is going lower and lower, right? Because as high as you go, you start losing your...
Got to pay for that internet.
I never use freaking airplane mode. Come on. Yeah. I'm not... My phone is not going to take down a 747 Boeing airplane, whatever. So we're going off. I'm losing connection. Mm. The refresh rate gets slower and slower. And it goes out right before the final out.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no idea. I knew there was 2 men on. I knew there was 2 outs.
Yeah. He popped up.
But I had no idea if it actually worked. And I just refreshed and nothing happened. And then I had to wait 3 hours.
Oh, you didn't know for 3 hours?
No.
That's a weird feeling.
And then I landed and I quickly refreshed.
What was your feeling though?
I mean, I was like, there's no way. That would be the worst. I mean, at least I wouldn't have to witness the collapse, but there's no way they would not. So I land, I get a bunch of text messages from people on me all responding like 3 hours later. I got your holy shit text. That was great. It was a great
But that was
for the Harper one.
Harper home run.
The connection was really bad. I wasn't getting text messages. I was just only...
I'm enjoying this. You and I are never in sync in sports. So it's like one of the rare times, so I'm going to enjoy it. But congrats to you. Congrats to Phillies. Again, America is behind you guys. As I mentioned pre-pod, the Eagles saved us from the Patriots a few years ago. It's kind of an interesting turn of fate that, again, we turn to.
It's a Phillies podcast for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That and track and field.
Phillies, just in general. Phillies.
Who is the fastest Philadelphia Philly?
Well,
if they were running a race.
So I don't know if we have this. They timed Bryce Harper's home run trot, and the caption said, if it seems like it took forever, it did. I think it was 31 seconds around the bases. I think it took him 11 seconds just to get to first. So there is a track tie-in, a speed tie-in here.
I have always thought about...
I would take even longer, for the record.
What is the distance around the plate, around the bases? It's 90 feet, right?
Yeah.
So it's 180 plus 180. So 360 feet, which is what? In meters.
So it's 30 yards between the bases. So
yeah, 90 feet. What's 360 feet in meters?
360 feet, 2 meters.
109 meters. So it's like a 110 hurdle.
Yeah, he did it in 30 seconds.
Okay.
No hurdles, though.
No hurdles.
But he had to turn.
How fast could Grant Holloway run the bases? He's used to 110 meters. There's kind of a little bit of a hurdle when you have to step on the bags.
Yeah, but you get a little bounce from it.
Yeah.
But you got a corner correctly. I don't know there's not that many inside the park home runs. So
Yeah.
he was the fastest timed at it. Well, when Harper, if you look at his trot again, when he gets to third, he really slows down. Like he took it at like a hard 90-degree angle. So
I'm going to look up fastest time around the bases. So 13.3 seconds someone did it.
Who?
In 1932?
Yeah, I'm not.
Evar Swanson in 1932 ran around the bases in 13.3 seconds.
If you round it properly, you're not running the full distance, though, correct?
You're running more no matter what because you're not doing sharp angle.
Well, I know, but you round it off, too.
All right, here. Andrew McCutcheon.
Okay, hold on. This is the fast. It says D. Gordon, who was really fast, 13.89. And they're saying someone in 1932 ran faster?
13.3.
Did they have illegal shoes back then?
It's according to the Guinness Book of World Records.
Okay. 13 sounds about right. I think Holloway could go faster.
Who would be the best track athlete to run around the bases? I mean, it's not Coleman or Curley because they're probably they're not good. It has to be a good 200-meter runner. So probably like Noah Lyles.
You got to really corner. I think Lyles could be good. I almost feel like you want someone shorter too, but that like lower center of mass to turn quicker. Like you want like an indoor 200 person.
Indoor 200. So like a Eli Hall.
Yeah, maybe they'd be even better. Or maybe I'm just biased because it feels like all the fast people in baseball are short. So I'm just thinking that would be the case with
maybe bowling. Maybe bowling should try out for the Georgia baseball team, be a pinch runner.
Yeah. I've long said that they should just get track athletes to just
be pinch runners.
Pinch runners. Just you're never going to play, but you're going to be so much faster than everybody. Because when there's a fast person, they change the entire geometry of the game.
If we just give Trayvon Bromell a bat and say bunt every time, he's going to get on base, right?
Well, you got to be good at bunting, but he's getting there a lot quicker.
Like that might be like a little bit of a Moneyball way of like, hey, just find a track athlete, tell him to lead off bunt.
It definitely would work in high school.
And you're in.
Yeah.
You're done.
If you had a extremely fast high school 100-meter person, same season as track though, but I don't know, but those guys are real quick to first. Catcher gets it, scoops it up. So it's still a long way to go.
No, if you have a good bunt, you could make it to first.
Well, you got to be, you have to be really good. You have to be just as good with your bunt placement as you are fast, right? You need to be good with both those skills.
I think Trayvon Bromell needs to be on the 26-man World Series roster for Philadelphia.
Phillies? Or you know who else is on a practice squad out in Philly?
Devin Allen. That's what they should do. Devin Allen, you could win the World Series and a Super Bowl in the same season. That would be hell. They need to get Devin Allen on the roster. It'd be a good experiment. Like, why hasn't the baseball team even thought about it? Like, has there ever been I think we talked about this. There has been a javelin thrower who tried out for baseball, but why hasn't there been an elite sprinter who can just bunt and get on base? And it's like,
well, if they knew he was bunting, wouldn't they just move everybody really close? Then what do you do?
Ban the shift. You got to ban the shift.
They ban the shift. They're banning the shift. You can figure it out.
Judson says Willie Mays Hayes can run the bases. Major League, great movie. Yeah, you just move everybody in then. They have to be good at least decent at hitting.
Well,
that's
then
the problem.
Okay.
It takes too much time.
Then you have them be a pinch runner, and they are able to steal seconds.
It would work one time.
They can steal second, steal third.
It would work one time.
You can get someone on third off a single because they could just steal bases.
It would be funny, though. So say in this magical world they do sign Devin Allen to a contract right now, which I don't even think is legal.
We can make it happen.
Like, how far would the Astros move in? So he's up to bat, his first bat. And it's very clear he's never played baseball anymore. But he's been taught this one skill.
Yeah.
Like, how close can you get? Because that's
it would be like, they would be like 10 feet away from him.
Yeah, the ball would be like whizzing
But then
past him.
he fakes him out and just boops it over them, and then he just...
But see, that's hard. That part is very hard. Even the bunting has got to be very hard when they're throwing 100 miles an hour. It's not easy. But I'm with you on the pinch running. No reason. You can just run. Teach him to run.
Teach him to run.
Hit the angle. I like the Lyles pick. The bowling pick would be good. Eli Hall. Yeah.
We need the track and field community to come together to defeat the Astros. Like, that's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
So this is a call to all the track. You know what? You don't even have to be Noah Lyles or Trayvon Bromell level. Like, I'm willing to take Division I track athlete.
Sure.
You know, hell, Division III, you can run a 10-200.
Oh, if you run a 10-200 and you get on a baseball field, you're going to look like Bolt out there.
So, like, let's go. Philadelphia, I mean, Temple's got a track team. LaSalle, let's find someone.
Penn.
Smart guys. They know, the analytics. They know when to...
Just run.
Just run.
No analytics required. Steal a bunch of bases.
Let's do it.
So I was watching a minor league game, and people who know baseball already know this, and I was watching the first base coach had a stopwatch, and I was like, wait, why does he have that? And then someone who knew about baseball was telling me it's a math equation. They're just timing the pitcher delivery, and they know how fast their guy goes, so then they know if they're going to be able to steal.
Yeah.
That math equation gets a whole lot simpler if you have
Devin Allen on first, or Trayvon Bromell.
Like, literally, like, digging in. Like, they don't even need to do a late leadoff. Like, no leadoff is necessary.
They're like, ready,
you're just
and go.
Yeah.
All right, on second. And they could steal home.
And a leadoff would be even quicker. I did see a video. Who was it who stole home? Jameis Winston in like a high school all-star game, I want to say, stole home. And it wasn't even like that crazy of like a wild pitch or anything like that. He just was pretty damn fast.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right. Good preamble to the show.
Yes.
You ready to get into this now?
We'll save the baseball talk for the top of every podcast for the next 2 weeks.
It could get bad around here, guys. It could get very dark. All right, I wanted to run through a couple results. Then there's a bunch of doping news that we could talk about. Look at what's going on with some top 400-meter hurdlers, some men's 400-meter hurdlers. Check in on their social media pages, see what's going on with them. And then Ashton Kutcher's running New York City Marathon. We can talk about that if you want. But let's start with Valencia. So you had Kipiwat Candy come back to the site of his world record. He destroyed again, 58:10. Weather was a little hot. Beats Kajelka, who I don't even know, like, is Kajelka 5K, 10K, half marathon? He's floating. Or he's always in the mix in every single.
Is this his first half marathon?
Yeah, I think it's his debut. Yeah. So solid run for Candy off of, his best time and not in the 57s, which is now the standard for half marathoning, but pretty dang good. So Ben Flanagan get the Canadian record, and then over on the women's side of things, Coco Constance Klosterhalfen runs 65:41. Didn't get the German record, but gets the win and runs 65, which, right now is just the cost of admission, basically. If you're going to be competitive in a major half marathon, or if you have designs on moving up to the marathon, that is where you need to be. I don't think she's moving up to the marathon anytime soon. This is more of long distance work for her, but 65 is just, you can see the depth there if you're watching. 65:41, 65:45, and then a bunch of low 66s. It's just so fast right now in the half, and in Valencia especially.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what Klosterhofen's 2023 plans are. She's kind of had a little bit of up and down career. She was, really good, and then she's kind of fallen off. Then she's kind of been a little consistent in the middle. But now, 105:41 debut. It's no joke, and we'll see if she decides to stay on the track or. Mm-hmm. Now the thing is, going to the roads is like scary. It's like, do you want to get in the mix with all the greatest to ever do it? So sometimes you're like, oh, the track is harder than the roads. But in this situation, the roads might be harder than the track. This wouldn't be a track and field podcast, though, to talk about what I think is the headline coming out of this race. Edward Cheserek coming in ninth.
King Ches. Does this make you rethink the Bowerman?
1:00:13. 60 flat, basically. I'm rounding that down to 60 flat. Cheserek, he has yet to run a marathon, right?
Mm-hmm. Unless he did one when we weren't paying attention.
Cheserek's kind of, obviously we know what he did in college, right? All of his titles at Oregon. He ran a few good 5Ks post-Oregon, but it's kind of been not in the mix with really any relevancy at the international stage.
Yeah.
He's always dealing with a citizenship issue. Would he run for Kenya? Would he run for U.S.? Never got that U.S. citizenship, so he's still running under the Kenyan flag. He's 28 years old now.
Yeah.
Runs 60 flat. We know what he's done on the track. We know his raw talent.
Yeah.
What do you think that's going to translate to a marathon debut?
So he'd run one in 2021, 61:31.
And now he's running 60 flat.
Well, it's the Valencia factor, though, too. I think Valencia, you just chop off a minute of your time, like right there.
But, I'm not going to go run 60 flat at Valencia.
No, but you could run a minute faster than you did anywhere else. You could probably dunk in Valencia.
Could I dunk in
Yeah,
Valencia?
I think the roads are made of something springy in
right.
Valencia, so
Nice.
it actually would be perfect for your dunking. You're asking me what's he going to do in the marathon?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I
mean,
I don't think a 60-13 just automatically guarantees marathon success in the way we used to think about it would.
Yeah, but it's 60-13 on top of his raw talent of what he's done in the 10K and the 5K.
But that's a while ago now, huh?
I don't think it's that. I mean,
what's Mance? Or let's just use Mance as a placeholder.
he ran
here.
27:53 in 2020.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's gonna go out there and run 2:15.
Yeah.
But to be relevant, what's he gonna need to run?
Well, it's to be relevant. Okay, he's not going to be relevant in the Kenyan trials,
Yeah.
but he could be relevant to like American fans of. I mean,
So
Connor Mance is relevant. He's running 2:07.
yeah. So Mance has only run 61:40. I guess that's a
2 minutes.
yeah. But that's not like.
So
but he hasn't.
it's a half, so it's 2 minutes. So that's 4 minutes. He ran 2:07.
It's not-
2:07 minus 4. This guy's running 2:03.
But that's what he would need to do right now, right? To be a player. What was the?
I think Edward Cheserek is 2:05 right now.
But with Ches, we always get back to the question of one of the questions with him is what event is he? Even in NCAA, you wondered that.
Yeah.
Because he'd break the collegiate mile record and then he'd go in
The 10K.
10K and then he would go run and dominate cross country. You just never knew. Okay, he's great at everything in the NCAA, and since it's the NCAA, he had a little bit more margin for error. But then since he's become a pro, some stuff's on the road. He had that awesome indoor season.
Yep.
One year, you never knew what direction he's going. I think the marathon would be an interesting proposition, but I would say right now he's more likely to be better at the half than the full, and you see already how many guys are, 2 minutes ahead of him.
Yeah.
But if you're just saying, hey, where can he have a solid career at? And if you run 2:06, you're gonna have you're still an incredible. Yeah, you're at the front of the pack there. But the problem is, if you're trying to make the Kenyan team, it's not going to cut it.
Yeah, but if he goes out there and his debut is a 2:05.50,
Oh, of course, yeah.
we're gonna think like, what can he do when he gets like 2 to 3 more marathons underneath his belt? There may be a chance by his age 32, he could have a career race at one moment, and finish in the top 3 at a major. So,
Well, just to give you perspective, so Flanagan ran 61 flat in this race. So Ches was 47 seconds ahead of
Ben Flanagan.
Flanagan.
And what's
Was that-
Ben Flanagan's PB in the marathon?
Has he run one yet?
I like how you use Flanagan as a way to it's not that good.
Well, he's 27 years old. No, I'm not doing that. I'm big Ben
That's what
Flanagan
it
hat.
felt like you were doing.
No.
Okay.
No. I wasn't doing that. I'm just saying he's a former NCAA champion. He's 27 years old. So, he didn't win as many titles as Ches. I'm not saying that, but the age is the same. And he hasn't run a full marathon.
I don't think.
That was his debut. That was his debut half.
No, it was the second half.
No, Flanagan's.
No, he's run 2 halves.
I'm not seeing the other one.
January 16th, Houston half.
My apologies.
61:38.
Colts ahead of me. Yeah. No, I'm just saying. I'm just giving you a range of numbers and performances so you can figure out where they slot in. I just think Ches is going to be on the speed side of things right now because he's coming from the 5 and the 10.
Yeah.
So, running 60-13 is obviously solid, but there's just so much that can happen in the other half of the race. So I want to see it. 100% want to see it. But if his intention right now is making a team, where's the easiest path?
I don't think his intention. I think he's running out of that intention.
Yeah.
I think he needs to make his new intention to be winning a major.
Well, if your goal is to win a major marathon, then you should run marathons. Because running the 5K and 10K will
No,
probably
I
not
mean,
get
he's
you.
28. He's going to start. He's running half marathons.
Well, I know, but if that answers the question. Because if your goal is to win major marathons, you probably shouldn't be running on the track.
Maybe he'll
all the
debut
time.
at Boston.
I think that'd be awesome. I mean, it'd be an anticipated debut. The other issue here, I know he's your guy. I don't want to throw cold water on it. But, like, he is 28, right?
Yeah.
This is a more traditional move to the marathon as opposed to a earlier getting ahead of it a bit move, which, all right. I'm glad you picked that up, though. It's good. Always good to talk about Ches. Hope he's doing well. All right. Doping news. Here we go. First one from this morning. Natalia.
Before we get into that,
Oh.
can we read some from the chat?
Oh, yeah, the baseball thing. Read the baseball thing.
There's a baseball thing?
Yeah, here we go. AC says Herb Washington. In 1974, Washington was tapped by Oakland A's owner Charlie Finley to become the team's designated runner. So there's history here of a track guy running.
What's Herb Washington's PBs?
Let's pull up Herb Washington's PBs if you can, Colt. Let's see. He's on Wikipedia as a
Herbert Washington.
Oh, come on. What are the PBs at?
10-1 hand time, 10-4-8 into a it wasn't that fast.
Well, no. In 1972, it says he tied the hand time world record in the 55.0. 60-yard dash outright record.
I mean,
missed the 70s.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, Washington said his biggest disappointment had been not qualifying for the 72 Summer Olympics. I mean, he's a serious runner. It wasn't a guy who happened to run fast. He was very, very fast. So, yeah, he won the NCAAs, 7 Big Ten titles, tied or broke the world record in the 50 or 60-yard dash several times. So,
we got some.
So we have some history of this happening.
Yeah, we also have commentators talking back and forth to each other. Anthony Rock says FloTrack's sloppy. We keep changing the times of the podcast. We're not changing times. 12:30 Central.
Yeah,
1:30 Eastern.
That's the time.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's our new time. This is our studio time. We used to be 9 a.m. Central.
That was our studio time when our studio was our house.
Yeah, but now we're at 12:30, and we change the time if it's going to be after a big event like a Diamond League or World Championship.
Yeah, but we have a while to go on that. And then we didn't have it Friday because Gordon was out of town and both my kids were sick. So life happens sometimes.
Life happens.
Yeah. Okay. Natalia Antuk, who previously was already banned for doping and had her results scrubbed, found out this morning AIU released a statement that her results are now DQ'd from July 15th, 2012 until June 29th, 2013. And what you're thinking, all right, this is old news. Like, what's the big deal? This person's already been popped, had results scrubbed. But what it means is we could have possibility of medals being reallocated from the Summer Olympics. Antuk was a gold medalist in London that summer. Lashinda Demas, silver medalist. So theoretically, she would get upgraded. And fourth place finisher, Khalees Spencer of Jamaica, could get a medal. And Khalees Spencer was someone who's just like around for a very long time, always in the mix, but never had that big medal moment. So interesting repercussions here. If these medals do get reallocated from Antuk. The reasoning behind it, they said there was new LIMS evidence, LIMS, which is like the online system that tracks laboratory information system. So presuming they found some more information that indicated that she should have had her results DQ'd for those years as well. So unfortunate for those athletes that they had to wait this long. I'm sure they probably suspected something like this could happen because when your results from year before, year after DQ'd, oh, hey, you just started like cheating that 1 year. No, most people are going to say, all right, it was probably a longer pattern, but I get it. You can't DQ somebody, toss them from competitions if you don't have evidence that they were guilty in that specific time period. But now apparently they do, and they're going to move forward with it.
Yeah, we showed on the screen Demas's quote that she's gonna not stop until she gets the gold medal, and obviously the 400 hurdles has evolved dramatically since that 2012 Olympic final, but it is, it's bittersweet. It's good, right, that she's gonna get the gold, but it sucks that she doesn't get it in that moment.
Yeah,
that's happened now many years. I remember seeing they were doing like award ceremonies a few years ago.
During Doha, they did for Savinova.
Yeah.
So Alicia Montano was there.
Yeah.
Brenda Martinez was there. Like, they literally redid like some of the podiums and had those athletes come back, travel to Doha specifically to get the medals. And I think bittersweet would be the appropriate way to put it, because I think people are like, all right, well, it's good they got it right, but there was also a lot of anger that it took that long and then that moment was taken from them. Because you look at Demas's career, and it's like no guarantees, right? She gets the gold in Daegu in 2011. Then 2013, she gets bronze at the World Championship. 2015, that year, she doesn't make the team. And then 2016, she's had so many injuries, she runs one race and that's it.
Is there a fine involved when you have to give up your medal?
I know World Marathon majors were thinking about or are doing something like that. I don't think individually there is. I think it's more just you violated the rules of the game.
Do you have to mail them the medal back?
Gotta give it back, yeah.
What happens if you don't?
I don't know.
Do they
I guess you could just hide forever.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly the work. I mean, they could just give her another gold medal, I think.
I think that's what they do.
Just don't worry about it. But I do think it's supposed to be, when they say reallocated, to me, it means they're supposed to take the medal from them. But I don't know if they're going to really spend a lot of time and energy and money doing that. But
if they do not get the medal back and they have to remake it, right? Do you think it's hard to make an old 2012 medal?
No, I'm sure someone has a print somewhere, right? Save it to your desktop.
Do you think they
backed it up on an external hard drive?
Do you think they have like every medal form factor, like backup plans? Like, how many backup medals do they have for like the 2013 Moscow World Championship?
Maybe not a backup, but maybe they borrow one and then you can make a molding off of that one, right? I don't know. I'm out of my depth here. Colt, you know more about this stuff.
What is Colt?
Colt used to be a roofer.
Yeah. I definitely know how they make medals. I think they probably just save it to their desktop and then they can pull the file up.
But what if like the computer
3D printers now?
But what if like the computer file is like gone? Like, people are. Do you remember the things you saved to your desktop in 2012?
No. But I just know that people can,
reverse engineer.
Yeah, they can do fantastic things.
Right.
Technology, man. Especially people know how like engineering and stuff works. It's incredible stuff. But anyway. Yeah, so happy they're going to get it right, but it's been obviously a long time. And I want to read more about the story. I want to know exactly what happened, like what the new evidence was, because that's interesting to me too, that they got more evidence. The other story I wanted to talk about was Maris Kipserem of Kenya, who has won some big city marathons, not major marathons, but some big city marathons. He got busted for EPO, and he was one of the pacers in the Ineos 159 group as well too. There's just been a run on Kenyan positives. We talked about Kipyoki a couple weeks back, Boston Marathon champion, and that was a year that it took, right? She tested positive in fall of 2021, and then we just got word of the provisional suspension. I wanted to bring up Kipserem's case because it's completely the opposite in terms of timeline. And I just think it's interesting because people always say, why does it take so long? Why does it take so long? When you read this document, you can see how quickly it could go, and you can also see why it gets extended a little longer. So let's throw this PDF up here. So it says on September 22nd, AIU notifies him that he has a positive test, right? Then on that next bullet point, or bullet point number 10, it says on September 23rd, he denies that he doped. So a day later, he denies.
Wasn't me.
Then 5 days later, September 28th, the athlete, Kipserem, returns a dated but unsigned admission of anti-doping rule violation and acceptance of consequences form, which is the clearest named form I've ever seen. right? Like you fill up stuff out at the DMV and you're like, wait, what is this? Like this doesn't match up. Like that's very clear what it is. I accept guilt. I was wrong. So he denies it.
Yeah, it's the AADRVACF form.
Yeah. But it's just very clearly spelled out, like admission of guilt form. Like you cannot be confused, right? If that's the name of the form. Sounds 5 days previous though.
But he didn't sign it.
Didn't sign it. Just turned it back in. I don't know if that was intentional or not. So then fast forward just a few days later, October 4th, AIU interviews him. What happens? Athlete maintained his denial of doping and that he had no explanation for how the EPO had been detected in the sample.
Again, wasn't me.
Right. So initially denies it, then turns in a form that's unsigned that says he admits to it, then says it wasn't me. Then 7 days later, October 11th. Remember, this whole thing started on September 22nd. By October 11th, athlete writes to AIU stating that due to technical difficulty, he was unable to return the admission of anti-doping rule violations and acceptance of consequences form properly signed. The athlete expressly confirmed in writing that he admitted the anti-doping rule violation and accepted the consequences. So he denied it twice and then eventually admitted to it.
This is classic. He doesn't know how to use DocuSign.
But then why does he say in an interview that he didn't do it?
Because he's like, you don't want to say you did it.
No, I think he didn't know fully the consequences or like the evidence. And then it does get knocked down from 4 years to 3 years.
Oh, if you say you did it?
Partially because of it. But look at this. September 22nd, he gets notified of the test. And by October 11th, it's a wrap. And then we found out this last Friday. So we found out about it less than a month from when he was notified that there was a positive test. And I'm guessing the positive test was probably late summer at some point. So boom, boom, boom.
I think the September 28th when he returned a dated but unsigned admission. That's definitely the classic, like, he doesn't own, like, a fax machine or he, like...
Who owns a fax machine?
Like, like, when you're getting, like, a house rent, you have to, like, sign papers and take a picture of the paper.
Yeah.
And,
or get a notary.
Notary. It's all complicated.
If you're a notary, shout out.
Yeah. It's just... That's what he was dealing with. He
Yeah,
just didn't know how to, like... He was probably dealing with his mortgage and didn't know how to figure out his AIU denying doping.
But then
paper.
what do you attribute October 4th when he says he maintained his denials? He had no explanation for how the EPO had been detected in his system.
It could be a internet connection. Like it dropped out when they said something, and he thought he was denying something different than what they were asking him. Yeah.
Okay, man, you'd be a good lawyer. You've come up with a lot.
There could be a lot of reasons for all these.
But isn't it interesting? I just think the timeline is interesting because you could see. Imagine if he fought every step of the way on all this stuff. Like it took. Yes, this went fast,
but it still took almost a month.
It took a while, and then the whole I turned in the form but didn't sign it. So then they got to be like, okay, now what do we do with this? Okay, we got to set up an interview with him.
Yeah, because you think like, I didn't, jury duty, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it got lost in the mail. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's like you can be like, you guys have to literally physically hand them and get them on.
Yeah.
Are they going to fly to wherever he is?
No,
exactly.
That's my point. But then imagine if he introduced evidence that said he wasn't guilty and the back and forth with that. Oh, do you have evidence that this drug was in your system for whatever reason? Or do you have evidence that you were in this place when you said you were in it? And then it just goes on and on and on and on. You could see why it totally would drag out for a year. I understand why people are annoyed and frustrated by it, especially the athletes competing against these athletes. They want to know quickly, but it also just it's just going to take time, especially when not everybody's in the same place. So, yeah. A lot of positives there. We'll see what happens. And for different stuff, too. This is EPO. That other one was triamcinolone, which is lesser known, and obviously carrying a shorter penalty, presumably. This is just old school EPO, which even you and I are familiar with that.
I'll be honest. I don't know what EPO stands for. Do you?
Yeah.
What's it stand for?
What, erythropoietin, right? It's the name of the drug.
Say it.
Erythropoietin. Isn't that how you pronounce it?
Erythropoietin?
No, that's not it, Colt.
Exclusive provider organization?
Colt, can you just Google it to yourself and go into YouTube and say how to pronounce it and see if I'm saying it correctly?
The O, so the P and the O are from the same word?
It's all one word.
It's all one word?
Yeah, it doesn't, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they're just trying to help us out.
Colt's going to help us out here. Colt will get
that and his how to build a medal for 2012.
I just thought Colt would be like, listen, I did I was a blacksmith in a previous life. Or metallurgy is a passion of mine.
If you could have a random job that you could just like call back to, be like, yeah, when I was like from 22 to 23, I did this really random job that you can always like brag about.
Well, that would be. I mean, that would be pretty cool.
Blacksmith would be cool.
Yeah,
being a blacksmith.
I guess not from this like.
Or like a horse trainer.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Would that be useful?
I don't know. Just train horses.
Colt, do we have an answer?
Okay. This is very hard to say. Erythropytine? I think it's erythropytine.
Oh, erythropytine. So I said erythropoietin. Okay.
Yeah. So you didn't even know.
I think don't quote me on that.
Oh, you already did.
You're literally being quoted live on
in
YouTube.
real time.
Hey, you kind of put me over the fire here, guys. I don't know.
Can't put two. We can hear Colt now. This is the downside of us being able to hear you, Colt.
Yeah.
We want you involved in the show. All right, let's take a moment. Let's check in on what's going on with professional track athletes.
This is a great segment.
Great segment. Today we're looking at the men's 400-meter hurdles. So I checked in on the big three.
All right. What are they up to?
Benjamin, Warholm, and Dos Santos. First up from Rye Benjamin. To my fellow athletes, particular distance, do y'all just get together and mob on long stretches of roads in the middle of nowhere? Seems lit. Invite sometime? And then he responded later on in the thread, what he was referring to was like Emily Infeld like was posting like videos of her going like a long run with like a group.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of cool that that's how
he likes that vibe. Like just
and to you and I it
taking
seems,
over the streets.
To you and I it seems normal.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of long runs. You've filmed a lot of long runs. Like as a joke.
Whoa, man. I ran at my time when I was 21.
But it's interesting to see how he described it there.
Yeah, because sprinters are all individual. They have their own lane. They don't run in masses.
Yeah.
They might run in masses around the track once when coach says run a lap.
And it is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, too, a lot of times for the good long runs.
Well, let me tell you, Rye, nothing that crazy happens in these long runs. We like to pretend like they're adventurous, but they're really not.
Well, he's just saying it's cool that you go out to a random spot by yourself in a group and like take over a road.
Yeah, I will say this: in high school, we used to have this thing called fun runs, which we would just pick up like when it's a day that coach said go run, and we're like, oh, we don't want to run, so we called it a fun run, and we would just run to a place and do an activity that lasted like 30 minutes, and then run back.
Yeah.
And then, like, it looked like we were gone for an hour.
Yeah.
We ran for 30 minutes.
I thought you said you had done a long run before.
No, this is called fun run. So we would run to, like, a creek and go on a rope swing.
Yeah.
And do that for, like, 30 minutes and then come back.
And then come back, yeah.
Or, like, we would go run to, like, an abandoned warehouse and try to, like, find something, like, try to scare ourselves because it was, like, at nighttime, and then we run back.
Okay, so what's the long run? I'm assuming one you've filmed, not one you've done. But what's the long run that you've filmed throughout all your years that would, like, blow Rye Benjamin's mind the most?
Long run that... I mean, there's, like, just visually. Like, when we were filming the long runs for NAU, Running with the Boys, watch it on FloTrack.com. When they're, I forget the name of the hill, but they were running up, like... They were, like, 10,000... There's, like, beautiful mountains of Flagstaff, and you're just looking out, and you're like, this is an incredible view. Stuff like that was probably the coolest thing, where you just... There's no cell phone reception. You're just all you can hear is the breathing of the athletes and just the views, and you're just one with nature. It's pretty cool. So I would say, there's a clip. Wait for it. We almost saw it.
We almost saw it.
There, right there. Look at that. They show a screenshot. Like this is they're like 10,000 feet right now.
Yeah.
And they're just running, chilling.
Yeah, it's trail and not maybe it's a fire access road. Is that what it is?
No, that's not fire access. It's something like it's a mountain. They were running up a mountain.
Yeah.
It was wild. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, long runs are cool. I mean, people know. It is interesting though that we should maybe bring a sprinter. You know, like take your daughter to work day. We should take a sprinter on a long run day.
Well, it's funny. All the comments is everybody invited him to go for a run. He's not going to have any trouble finding a long run group.
Yeah.
I don't think. All it took was one tweet, and he is there.
I think there should be one practice a year where track coach switches everyone and makes, but you switch half and half. So because you don't want to have a bunch of sprinters go on a long run.
Yeah.
Because they won't know what to do with themselves. You have like half and half.
I mean, they'll run. It's not that.
You need chaperones. You need it's like the juniors and seniors take the freshmen and sophomore sprinters.
Switch them around, yeah.
And vice versa.
It is interesting. Because if you're talking about just a track team, you can see pretty much everything the shorter distance athletes are doing.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's in the weight room or on the track. Early season stuff, they might go do some hills
Getting
and
a
things like
tan
that.
on the high jump pit. That's what I always saw.
Well, but they're out there forever.
Yeah.
Right? And then the distance runners just kind of disappear. Or maybe you don't even see them.
Yeah.
Because they practiced in the morning and they got in the team van and drove an hour out of town. You never see it. But with the sprint groups, like everything is like right there.
Yep.
It'd be like if the basketball team had two parts to it and one of them practiced on the basketball court and then the other group like went into the middle of the woods and shot 3-pointers or something. Like it doesn't make, it's kind of weird if you think about it. They're on the same team.
Yeah.
But one would have no idea what the other one is doing. And even the throwers and the jumpers, like how often are they off site? Like very rarely are they off site. They're always on. And then how often are the distance runners on site? Not that much, right? You get your track workout, maybe another day or two on there, but at least half the time, right? Wouldn't you say? You're
kind of
off-site?
feels like it's like position groups in football almost, where like I don't know, like the throwers in my high school track and field team basically was like the wide receivers. They'd go do their own thing, and you wouldn't even see them for most of the practice.
Yeah, except the distance runners go way out on top of a mountain, right? It's like, hey, the kicker, where'd he go? He's at 15,000 feet. Just booting the ball.
You'll see him, on game day.
Yeah. All right, so that's Rye Benjamin. Next up, we got Carson Warholm, who posted this on Instagram. He's ready for the season. He posted this on October 7th. It might as well be June 7th, looking at this video. Someone in the comments, though, brought up a good point here. It says, I get anxiety every time you run by the doors. All I can think is someone's going to step out. So if you're not watching this, I think this is underneath. Is this the one that's in the main stadium in Oslo, where the Bislett games are? I think this track might be actually underneath the stadium, is where he's working out.
I like how they made sure that like the lane with the pillars in it is also like official lane width.
Yeah, so you don't go over your lane and run into a pillar. Yeah, that is interesting. I didn't even think about that. Also, the song that went along with it, Still DRE, like he's ready. Like Warholm he's in spring mode, late spring, early summer mode already. I don't think he took the whole getting injured and not being 100% thing very well.
Yeah. Fred Curley responded with fire emojis. I would love to see a Carson Warholm, Fred Curley duo. Like just a 2x something. I want to see Warholm and Curley hand off a baton.
Yeah. Then finally, let's go to Allison Dos Santos. Lot to choose from here. Your guy, Dos Santos. A video of him doing some sort of race. He's going to hand off the baton.
That could have been
a
bad.
lot of youngsters out there. Yeah, that's the reason I brought it up, is my heart kind of sunk a bit when watching the start. Of course, we've had a lot of, I'm not going to go into all the injuries that we've seen, not just in track, but in other sports.
Yeah, Wade Van Niekerk injured himself playing, was it rugby?
Rugby, yeah, and people in other sports have gotten hurt. And this is actually running, so it's not like he's moving laterally, but he slips off the line, and I did not want to have is Allison Dos Santos Achilles recovered from the day he showed up to field day? He's going against another, because I think he tagged a guy on the tweet. That's another like pro athlete from Brazil.
But he still lost.
He's running 50 meters. And
he was undefeated in 2022, and then he gets a loss here.
Yeah, professional athlete right here.
Gets a loss to Biz.
But he does like a 180 turn and then comes back, hands it off to a kid.
That would be fun if we introduce 180 turns. We do that in marathoning sometimes. Why not do that in track and field? You got to run out, do it 180.
Look, 180. Look at that. That makes it even more difficult. Looks like he starts to close up the gap. All you want to do is hand off even, because you realize like you want the kids to be excited and they want the baton even. They don't want it behind their head.
Whoever put together this relay order, clearly not smart. They should have put Dos Santos on anchor.
You think you should have anchored? I don't know. Let's see who he was going with. All right, here's his squad.
He went to like a little kid. He's like, come on, man.
Dos Santos or the 7-year-old? Also, go back to his main Twitter page, Colt, if you could. He posted asking people to vote for him for Athlete of the Year, and the picture that's accompanying it is just tremendous. If you keep going down, you'll see it. Right. Nope. Keep going. You'll note it when you get to it. It's an awesome picture. There it is. Yeah. So you can see the translation there. They're asking him to vote, and then that's the picture that accompanies it. For those of you listening, not watching, it's a very blurry selfie, with his hand in front of his mouth, and you can barely even tell it. It may not even be him. Who knows?
You gonna vote for him?
Does that inspire you to vote for him?
That does inspire me. He's like one of us, and we all have those photos in our phone. I have a lot of those photos, especially from this past weekend.
I voted for. I didn't vote.
You didn't vote?
Did we vote?
Come on, man.
You vote by retweeting, right?
Democracy dies in darkness, bro.
That's true. Wow, look at you. Washington Post Gordon over here. No, I'm Mondo, right? We already made the decision. I can't go back on it just because he had an awesome tweet.
You voting for Mondo? I thought we were voting for the race walker.
No, Mondo is versus Mondo and Kipchoge.
That's true. I want to vote. Who would I want to? I want to vote for Grant Fisher.
World Athlete of the Year.
Yeah, I'm doubling down.
How about Canadian-born American Record Athlete of the Year?
I like that one too.
Okay. Born in Calgary. Do you want to talk about the New York City Marathon celebrity field? Just got released.
Let's.
Or do you want to skip that?
I mean,
you can do that or guess my PR. You can do both. It's up
let's
to you.
just do guess my PR.
All right. You don't want to talk about
No. Well, look, the celebrity field. Tiki Barber.
He's in it
run
every year.
Every single marathon.
Same with
The Neve Schulman.
Yeah.
It's the same people.
Yeah. The problem is
How many times can you run the marathon and you stop being a celebrity?
Well, no, you're always going to be a celebrity. The question is how many times you can run it where it stops being notable. And I'm just bummed because like I probably had some good jokes about these two like 8 years ago when they ran it for the first time, and now I don't have them anymore. Like you don't have any new stuff here. So the Kutcher's in it, Ashton Kutcher, and then Ellie Kemper from The Office played Aaron on The Office. That's exciting.
TJ Holmes. Is that
Is
the 400-meter hurdler? TJ Holmes?
No, is that? Oh, it says co-host of ABC News is.
Okay, here's a game that we're gonna play. How many of these people have you heard of?
So we should have did that before I looked at them all. Let's try it next year. Put a pin in this.
What do you mean? No, heard of. You can just look at them now. I haven't heard of Amy Roback.
No,
I haven't heard of.
No, it'd be fun to
Claire
guess.
Holt, haven't heard of.
See, it'd be fun for me to guess what
Of what
job
they do?
have. Yeah.
Lauren Ridolph. Haven't heard of yet.
Bachelorette.
No, it's Walking Dead.
Okay.
Megan Duggan.
Pro surfer.
She's New Jersey Devils director of player development.
Wait.
Also Olympic gold medalist.
Okay. Yeah,
I checked it. Pia Wurtzbach.
I'm looking at it right now.
Miss
2015
Universe.
Miss Universe. Ryan Briscoe, professional race car driver. Nope, nothing.
I mean, the most famous person is
Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Over under. What's the Ashton Kutcher over under? 4 hours?
No, higher. How old's Ashton Kutcher now? I don't want to.
Do you think he's punking us? Ashton Kutcher is 44 years old.
Yeah.
Over under 4 hours and 40 minutes.
Over.
Really?
Yeah, unless someone can show me a Strava. Over.
You could take the under.
Yeah.
He looks like he's in shape.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe.
He lost 12 pounds training for the marathon.
Is this current?
Yeah. 2022. He's ready to go. Come on, man. You're doubting our boy Ashton Kutcher.
Okay. I'll go over. I'll still go over.
I'm going under 440.
Has Ellie Kemper run a marathon? I feel like we've.
Also, 12-pound weight loss is like.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, that just seems like. It's like all right.
Half of that's like water weight.
Yeah, good. I mean, I'm happy.
It's seasonal.
It's seasonal, man.
Healthy.
He skipped Thanksgiving dinner one year.
Yeah.
Now he's lost 12
Well, was he ever? I mean, I haven't been following his weight on a day-to-day basis. Was that a cause for concern for him at any point?
No.
I don't remember anything.
He just looks like a normal, regular super celebrity.
Yeah. There's like a bunch of. I mean, he's probably fitter than.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, he's fitter than the
jawline.
average. Yeah,
great jawline.
he's a dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like 100 of these guys at the park every Saturday. I mean, they don't like have the movie star vibe that Kutcher does. Anyway, Ellie Kemper, I think, is going to be good. I think she's going to be good.
Who wins? Ellie Kemper, Ashton Kutcher?
Kemper. First of all, comedian. I feel like just comedians are going to be faster than. Well, does Kutcher count as he doesn't count as a comedian, right?
No.
Okay. Comedians should be faster.
Comedians are not fast. No, they're not. Comedians are so slow, man.
Yeah, they eat junk food on the road.
But I mean,
because they're performing in random hotel bars.
Okay, I guess you're right. Okay, let me rephrase what I'm saying. Comedic. If I had to go, comedic actors and actresses versus dramatic actors and actresses. So not just like stand up. I'm not including like stand up specific people, but people who are going to be like on camera and stuff like that. I'll take comedians.
Okay.
Over dramatic.
I'll take dramatic because I think what's his name, the guy who played Lincoln.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
if he put all the effort that
he's a method actor.
If he put all of his effort into in training for a role versus a marathon, I think he would actually run close to like 210.
So like they had him play Galen Rupp or something.
Yeah, if he played Galen Rupp,
he'd be like running 206.
Actually, that might be interesting. Who was like how fast did what's his name get?
Well, Billy Crudup when he played Pre.
Yeah.
Apparently, he could run in short increments. They wanted to be realistic, so they wanted him to run like Pre's 5K pace for 200 meters here or there.
Yeah.
So I think I read something that said he could run like a 30-second 200, and he could just because they do multiple takes too. So I think he got really good at running like 33-second 200s, which that's not easy to do for the average person. That's not that easy to do over and over and over again.
I'm just looking forward to seeing the movie about Cindy McLaughlin played by Zendaya.
You're really on the whole.
Because Zendaya and Cindy McLaughlin are the same person.
I don't think there's gonna be a movie about her coming anytime soon. Do you?
I don't know, but I would watch it because Zendaya, it literally looks exactly and even sounds like Sydney. It is unreal. Check it out. Look, Google Zendaya Sydney, and you'll be like, they are the same person.
Rob on the chat, they're not, but okay. Rob in the chat says, I'm 62 in New York City, targeting 325. He should be within my range by an hour. Rob, you're going to crush Ashton Kutcher out there, right?
Take it to him.
Beat all these celebs.
Run with a Von Dutch hat and just like throw it at him. Remember he was wearing Von Dutch hats all the time?
Yeah, did he own stake in that?
Maybe.
Company?
He made trucker hats look cool for like a good year.
Yeah. Were you a big Punked fan?
Of course.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It's fun.
It was.
I was a fan of what's it, the other guy? There's another prank guy on MTV or WB. I can't remember.
What was the show called?
Oh wait, Anthony Rock. Zendaya looks nothing like Sydney.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's not true. Zendaya.
Anthony's right. You're wrong.
Is a spitting image of Sydney.
No. I'm trying to think of the name of the other prank show now that you're referring to.
It was like God dang it, celebrity prank show. Oh, here we go. Celebrity top fastest celebrity is who? A biologist. Is that celebrity from 1980? I guess that likes to show that in like the 80s, like biologists were celebrities. Now it's Kardashians.
Whoa, David Petraeus on there, CIA director, 250.
Everyone's an athlete. Politician, Matthew Paris. That's kind of impressive. A politician running 232.
Go down to like actor or actress. This is probably an incomplete list, I'm guessing.
Acting.
Wow. Oh wait, no, that's not the fastest.
I don't know. Kevin Hart. What did Kevin Hart run? 405?
I don't know. All I know is he was at the Breaking 2, and I was very confused while he was there. And it was.
All right. Let's round this off. What are we doing?
Nobody thinks that they look alike, by the way. It's not just me.
No, dude.
There's a sample size of at least 2 people. We're not doing it. We're moving on. Okay, here we go.
Looks like Sydney.
Here we go. Guess my PR. You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
All right. This one's from Bennett. College freshman. This happened high school senior year. So the PR's in mid-March. 3,200, 936, 1,600, 431.
936, 431?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Freshman year?
No, that's his senior year of high school.
Oh.
In mid-March.
Okay.
And then
he was freshman in high school and 431.
Yeah. After these two good races, I had a string of average/bad races. Last 4 workouts before nationals. You're going to guess what he ran at nationals. Ready?
Yeah.
Starting 3 weeks out and about 2 workouts a week.
Got it.
400, 65, 5 minutes rest. 1,000 and 250, 7 minutes rest, and then a 460. So 400, 1K, 400. 65, 250, 60. Workout number 2. 1,000 and 241, full recovery. 1,000 and 242, and then a 458. Third workout. These last 2 will be more helpful. 466, 800, 213, 463, 600, 135, and a 458.
Okay. You have to understand, you're just saying a lot of numbers really quickly. It's hard for all this knowledge to get downloaded into my head really quickly.
Last one. Well, you need to be quicker. Last one. 4x400 with 300 rest.
Okay.
3 minutes rest. Excuse me. 3 minutes.
This is what I need.
62, 61, 64, 62.
Ooh, that's 64.
So remember, coming in mid-March, 3,200 PR was 9:36 and 1,600 was 4:31.
What was the rest of the 4x4?
The 4x4 was 62, 61, 64, 62.
Yeah, but what was his rest?
Oh, 3 minutes.
Okay, and what am I guessing?
3,200, 1,600.
His mile was 4:25.
And it was 2 mile?
It's 2 mile. 9:20.
4:25 and 9:20. Well, there's a twist. I'm going to read the intro again to you. I'm a college freshman, but this happened in my high school senior year. I have lots of info, and I think it'd be cool to hear you try to guess what my time would have been at the end of the year. I got a stress fracture during my race at Nationals and ran around a 6-minute mile. Still finished, though. So 6 minutes was the correct answer.
You would have ran 4:25, bro.
But Gordon thinks he would run 4:25. He added at the end, if it helps, my coach was having me target 4:20 pace, and I felt I could get in the 4:15 range.
Yeah. I mean, I was being, So maybe, yeah. At least sub 4:25.
Yeah. I hope you're healthy now.
Closer to 4:20. Why not?
Hypothetical PR, 4:25. A Gordon Mack approved PR.
Yes. That's where you're going to run this year now.
Did you like that I did that or no?
You got me there.
Okay.
So no matter what, I was right.
Yeah, it was more just a exercise because I didn't want to tell you that because I thought it would impact what you would say.
Yeah, I would have.
I wanted you to give your honest assessment of his potential. So now he knows what his coach thought and what a running podcaster thinks.
Self-described expert.
Yeah, self-described expert. Well, Dustin in the chat says maybe 4:20 and 9 flat 3,200. Well, if you're running 4:20 in the 1,600, 9 flat in the 32 is going to be tough. All right, that's 4:30 pace.
Yeah.
It's only slowing down by 10 seconds a mile. Submit more, guess my PRs, and internet coach to FloTrack podcast at gmail.com. I think we're going to leave it there, unless you have anything else.
Guys, I have the EPO pronunciation.
Oh, we got
Breaking
EPO
news.
pronunciation.
Video.
Here we go.
Do you know it's correct,
All right.
Colt, or did you just Google one?
No, so I this is from a doctor on
Yeah.
YouTube, so that's probably fine. I think they're probably, real.
All right,
I'm just going to play it.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Erythropoietin, then let's...
Did you hear that?
Yeah, do it one more time.
Okay, one sec. Got to set it up.
Hey guys,
Uh-oh.
It's got to rewind the tape.
Sorry, Colt.
We're losing viewers.
I don't think
Oh, here we go.
let's talk about erythropoietin, then let's...
Erythropoietin.
You hear that one?
Poietin.
I can't even say it again.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm realizing now I've literally never heard someone say it out loud because everybody just says EPO.
Yeah.
I've only ever heard EPO. With HGH, you hear people say human growth hormone too. Maybe because it's just easy to say, but everybody says EPO.
Yeah.
No one's ever said it. So that's probably the first time I've ever actually heard it, and I've been reading about it for a long time.
FloTrack podcast first. Look at that.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you guys Wednesday, 12:30 Central. Thanks to Colt for producing, Gordon for co-hosting. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Like and subscribe.
About erythropoietin,